short-term stress can naturally help us deal with challenging or threatening situations by triggering the release of certain hormones, such as adrenaline and cortisol. But do you know that your body can be in a state of stress without you even knowing it? That way, stress can behave as a silent contributor to a number of major health problems, such as high blood pressure, depression, and even symptoms of type 2 diabetes. Let's get to know some of the most common signs to help you know when you are too stressed. Without any further delay, let's begin. Number 1. Difficulty in decision-making and lack of focus. Stress has the ability to activate a fight or flight response in our body, which helps us think fast and make quick decisions depending on the situation. But prolonged or chronic stress tends to prolong this response by triggering the release of too much cortisol and adrenaline hormones. Think of it as a surge of many thoughts coming at the same time, and you don't know how to switch between them or which one to focus on. Eventually, it can make you lose patience and the ability to concentrate on the task at hand, and can even make you aggressive. Studies have shown that chronic stress can cause the hippocampus to shrink. This part of the brain is mainly responsible for memory and learning. Chronic stress has also been linked to a lower growth rate of new brain cells, a process known as neurogenesis. Not to mention that chronic stress can also increase the risk of developing depression and anxiety. So if you feel that you are not able to get a hold of your thoughts, getting impatient and sometimes aggressive, or cannot focus on one task at a time, then it's a sign that you are probably too stressed. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. If you find our videos helpful, please support us by becoming a patron. Number 2. Waking up late in the morning. If you are finding difficulties in getting out of bed in the morning, then it could be a sign that your body is under too much stress. Experts have observed that prolonged stress can also mess with people's sleep cycles. Chronic stress has also been linked to certain sleep disorders, such as insomnia, sleep apnea, or poor quality of sleep. Studies have also shown that stress can also affect the length and quality of REM sleep. REM sleep is the stage of sleep during which we usually dream, and is crucial for rejuvenating the brain and the body. So if your brain is unable to do that, you're more likely to stay disturbed in your sleep, and may not get up when your morning alarm rings. Plus, it can also make you lazy, or reduce your ability to focus during the day. Number 3. High blood sugar. The cortisol hormone also tends to increase blood sugar levels, so that energy is readily available to deal with a challenging situation or a threat. Studies have shown that stress can increase the rate of glucose metabolism, a process in which our body breaks down carbs or stored fats to make energy. Although this rise in blood sugar is useful in short-term stress, however, prolonged levels of stress can lead to consistently elevated cortisol levels and higher blood sugar levels. Moreover, according to studies, people who reported higher levels of stress had higher fasting glucose levels and a higher risk of developing insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. So if you are experiencing symptoms of high blood sugar, such as frequent urination, increased thirst, dryness in mouth and skin, and fatigue, then you should not ignore them and consult with a health specialist for proper diagnosis and treatment. Number 4. Weight gain or extravisceral fat. Another sign of high cortisol levels or too much stress is that it can potentially lead to weight gain or obesity. This sign is also linked with high blood sugar levels, as they tend to increase the production of urine. High blood sugar can be utilized by your body to stay active during short-term stress, but when you are inactive during long-term or chronic stress, your body is most likely to store them as visceral fat in the liver or abdominal region. Experts have also observed that people going through chronic stress often indulge themselves in comfort eating and end up eating more high-carb or high-sugar foods. Plus, high cortisol levels in the body can also slow down the digestion process, making it more likely that foods consumed will be stored as fat, rather than being used as energy. So if you have recently developed high-carb food cravings or are already gaining weight, then you should look for the possibility that you are taking too much stress. Number 5. Inflammation. High cortisol levels during chronic stress can increase the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines, which are signaling molecules that can trigger an immune response in the body. The immune response is considered very helpful when our body is already under attack by certain pathogens, such as bacteria and fungi. But a prolonged or abnormal immune response can actually make our immune cells attack our own healthy cells and tissues, leading to inflammation. Eventually, this can contribute to a variety of conditions, including joint pains, arthritis, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even neurodegenerative diseases, such as dementia or Alzheimer's. Number 6. Salt cravings. Another prominent sign when you are too much stressed is when you find yourself looking for salt or salty foods. According to experts, this can be due to the fact that prolonged stress can lead to frequent urination, sweating, or dehydration, during which you can lose electrolytes in water. When our body recognizes this salt or water deficiency, it encourages us to increase their intake by creating thirst and salt cravings. Another important thing to know is that the loss of electrolytes in salts, especially potassium, can also cause other symptoms, such as irregular heartbeats or leg cramps. Number 7. Acne. Well, this one's especially important for ladies. High cortisol levels or prolonged stress can also mess with the function of sex hormones and can increase the levels of androgen hormones in women. This, in turn, can cause extra sebum that leads to clogged pores on the skin and cause acne breakouts. Irregulated insulin levels and high blood sugar levels that arise from consistently high stress levels can also effectively contribute to the development of acne breakouts. So if you have noticed similar symptoms recently, then you should know that these could also be because probably you are too much stressed. Number 8. Frequent infections or sicknesses. Although frequent infections, flu, cold, sinus problems, and breathing difficulties can be due to a number of reasons. However, these could be very prominent signs that your body's defense mechanism or immune system is weak, and chronic stress is generally considered a sworn enemy of our immune system. As mentioned before, chronic stress has the ability to turn our immune system against our body. This, in turn, can cause inflammation in the sinuses and respiratory tract, leading to the production of constant mucus or phlegm in the throat. Not only this, but prolonged stress can also affect your gut in adverse ways. And studies show that bad gut health is closely related to an unhealthy immune system. On one hand, gut inflammation can lead to a number of digestive issues, such as a bad stomach, and symptoms of acid reflux or gastritis. And on the other hand, a weak or abnormal immune system due to bad gut health can trigger allergies and symptoms of cold, flu, sinus problems, and even asthma. So you should keep an eye on these signs that show you are too much stressed. And managing stress through exercise or meditation can be a great way to avoid many health issues associated with it. Thank you for watching and subscribing to the channel. See you in the next video.